Well, now to another twist in the saga of the Adelaide Oval. If the planning process for the redevelopment seemed difficult, then it seems to have become even more problematic. Lord Mayoral candidate Anne Moran has just jumped into the debate in her role as member of the Adelaide Parklands Authority. And she's calling for a hard line on the demands from the SANFL. I spoke to her earlier today. Anne Moran, thanks for your time. Now, what are the SANFL demands that you're most worried about?
Well, it's a range. I mean, we were surprised to hear how broad-ranging their non-negotiables were. To start with, we will not accept the precinct going out of council control. That includes particularly the parking. We also will not allow them to sell off the name of the Adelaide Oval. It's the Adelaide Oval and it must stay the Adelaide Oval. We'll also not agree to pay them compensation if we won't allow them to sell off the name. But I think the thing that most is worrying us most is the parking around the Adelaide Oval. The football says it's non-negotiable. They want to run the parking themselves and collect the parking fees.
So that'd be quite a lot of money, wouldn't it?
A huge amount of money. I mean, they're talking. I'm not sure how much they'd charge, but you could charge between 20 and 30, and one can only imagine how much revenue that would raise. And also they're talking about parking, obviously, all year round. We know it's not suitable for all year round parking. So
and this wouldn't just be cricket and football, this would be other events as well?
The SACA has the ability already to have 1,500 other events a year, such as rock concerts, conventions. So, worst case scenario, it could be used every day of the week, every week of the year, and parked out. And our lovely parklands, especially that beautiful part of the parklands, could just be a car park around the Oval.
Now, does the Parklands Authority then have any real legal power to take a stand on protecting the parklands?
It has no legal power. The Parkland Authority was set up after the last council election as a communication tool, advisory board for both state government and the council.
So you're advising that not to go ahead and hand over the parklands as basically a car park?
Exactly, yes. Well, we were concerned that the debate's sort of overtaken us a bit. There's an August the 31st deadline for the end of negotiations and an outcome. We haven't been negotiated with at all, or council hasn't been. So last night at the advisory committee meeting, I decided to move a motion from the floor that we set down some non-negotiables to suggest council has non-negotiables too. Everybody else seems to have non-negotiables, so we thought we better have some, as we are the landlord and caretaker.
Now, the critics say this is another example of the City Council holding back development. It is, isn't it?
No, it certainly is not, and we were very careful last night to make sure that our non-negotiables were reasonable and I think would reflect what the people of South Australia and Adelaide would want us to do.
But if the SANFL says, look, if we don't have the naming rights and we don't get the car parking, we're not going ahead, then you've effectively stymied the proposal, haven't you?
No, well, I'd be very surprised if they were deal breakers, and if they are deal breakers, they better start negotiating with us fairly quickly. I'd be surprised if... I think that's what they would like, naming rights and the use of our entire parklands as a car park. But I think they can't expect that, and really if this whole redo of the Adelaide Oval is contingent on those two factors, then it will fail anyway.
Now look, another area of concern is that I believe there's about 15 metres of parklands on the eastern side of the Oval that is part of the new development. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. The Creswell Gardens will be eaten into on the eastern side by... the development will come 15 metres into Creswell Gardens. We didn't make that a non-negotiable last night. It was suggested that we put on the table that we don't allow them to increase the footprint or the leased area. We decided we didn't have quite enough information about that to decide that as non-negotiable, and it was quite contentious too. So council will look at that at its next meeting, but that's not on the table at the moment.
All right, very briefly, I know you're campaigning to be the next Lord Mayor. What are your plans to rejuvenate Adelaide then, in just 30 seconds?
Is to give the people that live and work in Adelaide City such fantastic services that other people will be flocking to come and live and work in what will be seen as the best service city in Australia.
And that has a stadium in it?
That has a stadium in it, yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.